stop. I agree.
No, it was a good stop. The referee's only got a tenth of a second, a half a second to make a decision.
Oh, Jimmy Donahue, I think, does a great job. Let's shout out to Jimmy Donahue. I think he's a very, very good referee. Another breakout fighter from CMMA that I think we need to mention is Samir Pilipovic. 2009 was a very good year for Samir. I think he suffered one loss this year against an excellent fighter, guy who was like 12-2, and he was beating that guy up until he lost that fight. But Samir really went from the bottom of the rankings. He started in the rankings because he's just so tough at the bottom, but worked his way up to like number 2 at 170 pounds and belongs there, and is going to get anybody who steps in the ring with him. I don't care. To me, Samir is like way up there.
Yeah, I think he's at number 4 right now. If I looked at it again, but yeah, he's just a guy that I wish could fight more often. That's all. You know, I mean, he could get a little more action. The problem is that some of these guys, when they get older, and older is late 20s, they've got jobs and responsibilities, and some of them kids and careers. And I hate to say it, they're the best now, but these 22-year-old kids that can train all the time, that can fight 5, 6 more fights than them in 1 year are going to pass them up. And it's going to happen.
Oh, and they'll definitely pass them up in the rankings. These guys
they'll pass them up in ability and skill level.
Yeah, potentially so, too.
You have a short, as a guy who's old now and way past my day, there's a short window of opportunity, and if you guys want to be fighters and you've got a chance, you should be doing it now, right now, and you've got to sacrifice. You've got to make something happen. I mean, I hear guys telling me now that they're going to go pro after 1 or 2 more fights, and I'm like, you've only got 5 damn fights. How the hell are you going to go pro? You haven't beat up everybody in town. Go get 10 fights under your belt, you know?
Well, I think it's going to change when these kids start. We all got to start kids programs.
Yeah.
Get the kids started. By the time they turn 16, they've got 8 years of mixed martial arts.
Right.
And then you're going to get these guys coming out there because they've already got some skills now.
Right.
Then they start with their fighting. They start with this, and by the time they turn 21, 22, they will be going pro, and they'll be good pros.
I think another, just throwing out there, another potential for who could even be considered maybe fighter of the year, Matt Ricehouse.
Absolutely. Matt Ricehouse wasn't number 1 originally, and he beat the number 1, and then he beat the number 3, and then he beat the number 2 and the 5, and he's defended, that number 1 ranking against everybody. And truth is, he should be a 45er if he was a pro tomorrow, and he's beating everybody at 55.
Yeah.
And the kid's the most laid back, don't see many holes in his game at all. I mean, who did he beat? He beat Josh Weston, who was number 1. He's beat Chris Hogan. Who else?
Chris Hogan.
Mike Maddox. I mean, there's 3 of the guys all in the top 5 right there.
Right.
You know?
And he doesn't have a lot of years of experience.
No.
That's what's really good for him. You know he's going to get better.
Also, December 5th, we have Josh Weston. Is that what? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Josh Weston versus
Lance Benoist.
Lance Benoist, the number 1 170-pounder.
Yeah.
Great fight. Josh Weston needs to be mentioned, too, as one of the best fighters in the area.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Willing to take on anybody and fights in about 10 different weight classes. So, I mean, I've got to throw a shout-out to Josh, but also Lance Benoist. What a great year he's had. He had a kickboxing match.
Well, it's been a great year for MMA in St. Louis.
I agree with
In this
you.
whole area.
Oh, definitely.
There's been some good matches, a lot of good events. There's been a lot of interaction between the schools and everything. I think it's been a really good year.
Blind
One
Dog
of the more
MMA
exciting
is
years I
another
remember.
school that has really been coming to town.
Ground and Pound started.
That's where
What a year.
Elijah fights.
Yeah.
Him and
Demetrius Joyner also fights out of that school. And who's the main instructor over there?
Bill Elmore.
Bill Elmore, great guy, really stand-up guy. I mean, really like him a lot. And so,
Dr. Joe has got a lot of people out
Good
there at his
point.
place.
yeah,
That's the name of their team is Team Destruction.
Yeah, and that's Joe Warden.
Yep.
Yeah,
And they're
another great school out there that's
really
really
good
producing
school.
good fighters.
Yeah. The Pit, Patrick Smith's got a lot of good fighters out there. I'm trying to think of
The
around.
hit squad in this area continues to produce good fighters.
The hit
We
squad.
have to mention the War Room.
Are you
War
guys like
Room,
forgetting
absolutely.
somebody?
I'm sure we're probably
Burgers
forgetting
MMA.
Burger
Yeah, Tony's
MMA.
over here getting pissed. He's like,
No, we were waiting on
That's
Burgers.
it.
Speak up, why
We're
you're
both
on.
kicking
I
each
guess
other
you
under
can't
the
say it.
table, waiting to see how long it's gonna take.
But let's talk about that, because Burger MMA, again, some of the best fighters in the area.
Absolutely.
You know, definitely, you
the
got
number
Tony
one
over here.
125-pound female in all of the United States.
What?
Barb, yeah.
Barb, she won the hook and shoot tournament in 125-pound female division.
Oh,
She's
good.
the actual
When was that?
champion. About a month and a half ago, 2 months.
There you
It's
go.
been a couple months ago,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, she is. I mean, everybody recognizes Barb, and she's getting mentioned all over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she
just
can't fight a
on
damn
the
pro fighter.
Johann-
Who's a fighter?
Blogger.
Johan's got his ups and downs, but I feel he's one
Oh,
of the
but
best.
Johan's
He's
is
really
definitely one of
improved
the
this
best.
year.
He
He's
always
one of the
takes
best.
on top fights.
Little Steve
Steve
Dietrich,
Little
Yep.
Steve,
Matt-
Blake Chatham.
Blake Chatham,
Blake
which
Chatham.
if we get Blake in the gym more, he's kind of back in college and likes his partying. He trains. Let me rephrase that. Not back in the gym, but we just get him to concentrate more on fighting more rather than hanging out with his buddies and stuff. I mean, that guy, he's
been
coming
very
around.
successful in 2009.
And a guy I really want to mention is Matt Bryan. He's a 170er that he's going to be somebody to look out for, in my opinion. I train with the kid. I shouldn't say
He's
kid.
got 3 fights.
He's got 3 fights. He's
Undefeated.
undefeated. He's heck of leg kick, striker. I mean, him and Blake, they go at it every day. I mean, them guys. That's why I want to rephrase that, because they are at the gym every day, but they just don't. Matt tore his shoulder or something. That's why he hasn't
Rotator
fought
cuff.
lately.
All right, but I'm sure we're leaving a lot of.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of.
So I mean, people are welcome to call in and correct us, and we'll even
The
talk
war
about it.
room. I mean,
Yeah, I
said
mentioned
that
the war
we said
room
war room.
because
Yeah.
they have to be mentioned. I mean, those guys have produced some of the best fighters in the area and most exciting fighters in the
Right.
area.
Yeah, and my vote for fighter of the year is Matt Ricehouse because, like I said, he's still undefeated, and he's beat 3 guys in the top 5, you know, including the guy that was number 1 to take that spot, and he's the first ground and pound champ. So yeah, my vote would go to Matt for fighter of the year for this year in this region there.
I'm going to throw out, because I guess this is a little selfish of me, but I got to throw out Carlitos Jones. Carlitos is a very exciting fighter, cardio out the yin-yang, keeps the fight standing up when his strength is on the ground. He's got to learn to get down to that ground with his opponents, but
I give
another great
Carlitos
fighter.
Jones too, because there was a fight that he fought in that there's no way in absolute hell that I would have fought in them conditions. And they went out there and the last 2
Demetrius
fights.
Turner versus Carlitos Jones.
Yes, sir.
That was-
The outdoor show. I mean, that was. I honestly thought it was more of a draw myself than either one of them winning.
I agree
mean,
with you
Right.
there too, but I mean, I got to give it to Demetrius. What I loved about Demetrius in that night was Demetrius' mother is sick and she's dying with cancer. And right after the fight, he dedicated that fight to her. So he fought with all his heart. He didn't stay to party after the fight. He went straight to his grandmother in Springfield, I believe, at the hospital. You know, was able to bring her a belt.
Right.
You know, so I know Carlitos felt very strongly that he won that fight. He wants a rematch. Bill Elmore wants a rematch. Demetrius wants a rematch. So we're going to get to see those two tango again, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I'd like to see it.
And I'm very
in
happy
good
for-
conditions.
I'm very happy for Demetrius, and I
To
just...
get an indoor venue.
It's okay. Yeah.
That's
I
right.
guarantee you
If
they'll
you're gonna
be
have it
an indoor
outdoors,
venue.
make it,